welcome back to RPG Elite, where we put the RP back into RPG, giving you tools and tips that's going to make your RPG experience more immersive and enjoyable. Servant of Shiloh back at the helm. Now, I know I said that I was going to try to do 1 or 2 videos a week. I missed last week. Had some crazy stuff happening around my house last week, so I wasn't able to get out my videos as I wanted to. We had number one, we had a bad ice storm, and the ice storm came through here, and that was not fun whatsoever. And trying to deal with the weather in my house as this ice storm was passing through my area. And then on top of that, the next day it got really windy, and we have one of these really tall old antennas, or had, I should say, tall old antennas in the back of our house, right? It's been there like forever, from way back in the day when that's how you got television and you had these huge antennas, right? So we're like one of a few that still have one of those ancient antennas that was up. Well, what happened was that when it got windy, well, Old Faithful, she just couldn't take it no more. Fell over, hit my fence, cracked my fence, almost hit the garage of my neighbor next door, and ended up landing on a slant on top of my fence and on the in the driveway of my next door neighbor. So I'm not making this stuff up. So I had to go and I had to fix that, and so it was kind of crazy last week, so you'll have to forgive me if I didn't get to my videos. But this week, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a batch, and I'm probably going to put the whole batch up at the same time for you guys. So if you see that there's more than one video that's starting to pop up, there might be as many as 3 or 4 videos that I do. It just depends on my time here, because I got other things that I have to do. But we're going to see if we can get as many videos out as we can. Okay, so last time we were talking about character aspects or character properties, and we had gone through a couple of the other ones. And this time what we're going to do is we're going to go through 3 more. And these aspects these are the ones that come, and I'm just closing out this stuff here right there, but these are the ones that come with a base character there, except meters. Now, meters is not one that comes with a base character. You got to activate a plugin, and we'll talk about those later. But the last 3 that we're going to talk about for your character are going to be lighting, position, and vision. Lighting, position, and vision. Now, this series is, I'm going to switch back and forth. And right now we are in what's called DM mode, or Game Master mode. And so we can see everything and know everything. But I'm going to switch back and forth, because for this particular one, the 2 that we're really going to be concentrating on more than the other is lighting and vision. So let's do the easy one first, which is position. So if you go ahead and click on this arrow to the side, it'll give you 2 headings here. One is position, the other is heading. And this is when you highlight a character in the left-hand pane. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. It gives you 2 numbers here. And if you click on this side arrow on position, you'll see the X and Y. The X on this is going to be the horizontal position of the token on the map from the left side, or the western side of the map. So if I make this map really small, move it over, and from over here, and if you go in 37 squares, now all the maps are on a grid, and if you want to see that grid, then you can go up here to user interface, click on grid, and it says none, and I'm just going to use let's do dark color let's do light color. Let's go back to light color. Light color is going to be better on this map, I think. There you go. So you have this grid on the map, and what happens is that if you count over this way on the grid, you will count over 37 squares, and 37 squares from the left-hand side of the map, or from the west side of the map, is going to be where Rophielin is. Now, to get his the other location, which would be the vertical position, you would have to count 26 squares from the top of the map. So 26 squares down is going to be from the top of the map. How do we know this? Now, I'm going to take the grid off here. And you know this better on this side. Now, once we do this, if we go up from Rofelin to the top of the map, we'll see, there it is, 26. And then we go to the edge of the map over here, and we'll see, well, maybe we can't see. There we are, 37. So at 37, and I'm going to explain what all that is in a second. So at 37 from the left side of the map, and at 26 from the top of the map, and let's go ahead and make sure we highlight him so we have, so at 26 from the top of the map, that is where he intersects, and that is where that token is going to be. Now, we also have heading, which is basically the direction that your token is facing, and it's within 360 degrees. Right now, he's at a heading of 311. Don't even worry about the rest of that stuff because it really don't matter, because who is going to why it goes out so far, don't know. Really don't need it to go out that far. They really need to truncate that down. But okay, so at 311, he is faced in a northwesterly direction. If we want to face him north, then it would be at 0. It basically is 0. When we want to face him to the east, it's going to be 90 degrees. South is going to be 180 degrees. And west, it's going to be 270. So this is going to be probably used more by DMs, GMs, than it will be by players, especially to set up particular scenarios in dungeons and things that have multiple floors. I'm not going to talk about that too much right now. Or even another situation where it could be used is that maybe you have a bigger map than this, or you're just zoomed in like this, right? I have him, and I want to know what direction is Rofelin facing, and he's not on the map. So instead of just scrolling out and trying to find him someplace on the map or whatever, I can just highlight him over here and just look at his heading. Okay, well, he's at 270. So 270, if you know, you automatically know that he's faced in a westerly direction. And then when we go to find him, oh, what do you know? He's faced in a westerly direction. So that is what position and heading is. That might be another place where position and heading might be used more will be for maybe battle games and things like that. I'm speculating here, but that might be for RPGs, probably more so. That is going to be something that is going to be something the DM uses more than anything. What direction is a PC facing? Well, if I just highlight on them and look at their heading, then it will be a lot easier than trying to find them on the map if they're not immediately on the map. So that's how that works. Now let's go to the big boys, lighting and vision. And let's first go to lighting. Now, if you know anything about virtual tabletops, one of the cool things about it that you don't have really in a face-to-face tabletop, you don't have this. There is this. When you look at a map, you can have maps, but the whole idea of lighting and opening doors and all the rest of that stuff, you can't really have that in a face-to-face encounter unless you're playing on a virtual tabletop face-to-face. Then you can have that. You have the best of both worlds. I think that's the best that you can possibly have, to be quite honest. But that it's kind of cumbersome because everybody then would need a computer and all the rest of that stuff. But okay, so what we're going to do here is talk about lighting. And in virtual tabletops, lighting is a big deal. For the virtual tabletops that do it well, and I'm going to tell you right now, I've tried out a couple of the virtual tabletops that do dynamic lighting. Skirmish just has it down pat. It is very, very, very easy. So let's look at this a little bit and see what we can do. Right here, it says there is attached light. Now, what an attached light is is, let's say Rofielin is going to be carrying a lantern, okay? When you highlight attach light, it will give you suggestions down here. Now, light source this character produces defaults to none, okay? Now, when you go to radius, then it'll tell you as far as squares, how many squares that this light source is going to light up. So go down here and it says this light source radius in tiles. Set to 2 for candle, 5 for torch, 10 for lantern or campfire, 20 for a sun rod, so forth. Okay. Or anywhere in between. That's really up to you. But that gives you kind of a guide on, okay, this is how, this is what a torch, this is a candle, all the rest of that. And it tells you again in tiles around it. Okay. If I switch this over to player mode, I'm going to just move in right here. I have a light on Rofielin, and he has a 5 tile radius. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 is right here. And you're saying, wait a minute, man, there's still light out there. I will let you know what that is right in a second. But going back down to Rofielin. So he has an attached light. I've given him a 5. So he's got a torch or something the equivalent to a torch. All right. The type of light, if you click on type and then you click on the down arrow, you're going to have 3 types and technically 2 types, because if it's darkness, you have no light, right? So you only have 2 types of light, bright and dim. I think there should be another one in between there, but that's just me. So dim is kind of, maybe before dusk or something like that, or just, it's not immediately in your face brightness. Okay. And then there's bright. And then you have the mode. Now it's either going to be square around him or it's going to be a circle around him. Now for most situations, circular is going to be the best, I believe. Square would come into play in certain situations, but maybe in a building, it's going to be more square than it will be circular. Especially in a room or something that's already square. So those are the things that you can attach to the character. So what I've done is I've given him a bright light. I've made it square, but I'm going to make it circular here. And it's got a 5 tile radius. Okay. Now, when you remember when we went back to the player screen, you saw that it was circular, right? He's like, wait a minute. Well, if it was square before, why was it circular here? Because he has secondary lighting attached to him. Let's get to that. So here you have secondary attached light. And this is where it gets real cool, okay? So when you have a light on your character or on your token, it's the brightest the closer it is to the character, but it gets dimmer as it goes out, right? So if the radius for this in brightness is 5, it doesn't mean that the light just disappears on the fringes. It means it just gets dimmer on the fringes. Okay. Back once again. I had to do a little bit of a segue there, a little bit of video editing. My heater came on. I had the furnace guy come in today, and he was cleaning it, and he put the heater up higher than it was supposed to be, so it's going off because you'll hear at the tail end of the audio, it was like, because my furnace is just like this. It's loud, okay, where my computer is. I'm right next to it downstairs, and so it's loud. So I had to wait for that and go upstairs and adjust the furnace so that it would not kick on as soon as it did. So going back to what I was talking about before that little incident happened was about the dim area and using dim lighting on a token. What happens with your token is it doesn't, when you have light attached to your token and it's bright light, on the edges of it, it doesn't just disappear after that. It has dimmer light on the outside. So when using attached lighting, you have a bright area, which is the brightest area that it illuminates. And then you have a dimmer area on the outside, which means that your dim area is always going to be bigger than your bright area. It has to, in order for it to be seen. So as far as the mode is concerned, it is going to override whatever mode that you have for your bright area. Now, override in the sense of the edges that you will see on the map. So let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. You remember before, and I'm going to just click on revealing over here, and we're going to click on his character here, and then we're going to move it over. Now you see here that it is circular. That's the mode that it is in. And that's because we have a circular mode when he comes over here to his lighting for dim. Okay? So it's circular. Now it's circular and is primary, it's circular as well. But if I clicked on it and changed it to square, okay, then we go back over here. Well, then it's a square area, and you can barely see it. It's a square area here, and if you could see it, I can kind of give you the outline here. You can see where it's about there, and then right about here is where it ends, and it's square, okay? But as far as the edge of our lit area, it's still circular, and that is because that's the dim area here. And it's always going to be, the edges are always going to be whatever mode that you set the dim at, which is always going to be a far higher radius than your bright area. Okay, hope you understand that. If you got any questions, go ahead, leave them in the comments. All right, now, not only can you attach lighting to a token, but you also can attach lighting to props. I want to show you something here back on player mode. Now, on vision, now let's go back to vision because I didn't explain vision. Vision is how far your character can see, okay? And so when it comes to vision, it has basically the same aspects as it does for lighting. You have your radius, you have your type, and you have your mode. Radius is the same thing. And tiles, how far your character can see. So this is the furthest that your character can see on the map. So I've got it set to 15 tiles for revealing. That's the furthest that he can see. I have different types of vision. Let's go over that real quick. All right. If you click on this, highlight type, I have it at normal now. So this is just normal vision. Anybody can see however far. There's nothing wrong with his vision, nothing special about his vision. We have, if you click on the down arrow, a couple other types of vision. You have one that's called low light vision. Now, normally those who have low light vision, they're going to be able to see twice as far as those who have normal vision in low light. Okay? So if your map is set to dim, which would be low light, then a character with low light vision should be able to see twice as far as a character with normal vision. That should be how it works. If it's now, and we're talking about in a fantasy setting, okay, with fantasy rules, probably of the other popular role-playing game that everybody seems to play. With dark vision, you can see in the dark. That's exactly what it is. You're able to see in the dark. Now, this kind of will come in handy if you're playing some superhero role-playing games. This is where this stuff can come in handy quite a lot. Or if you've got a robot that can see in the dark or see heat vision or things like that. So kind of cool. And then the fourth one that you have is blindness, which would actually not be vision. It would be a lack of it. So if you're blind, then you wouldn't be seeing anything. It would be like darkness in lighting. You just wouldn't see a thing. So you'd be blind. Or you can have, like, there's this character in Marvel where he's blind, but he actually sees in the dark. He can actually see things in the dark. So they might be blind, but they actually have dark vision. It's kind of cool. But anyway, all right. So those are the different kinds of vision that you can have. Click on mode, and again, you only have two, square and circular. I want to show you guys something with vision and lighting. And, oh, you also have this one right here, can see invisibility. Okay. Some characters can see invisible characters. Maybe they're able to see heat signatures or things like that, or maybe they just have special vision so where they can see invisible characters. Now, Raphaelin, he ain't that special, so he doesn't have that. But if the token or the character that you have can see invisible characters, then you should go ahead and click down arrow for yes. But we're going to keep that for no for Raphaelin. And we're going to switch this over to player mode real quick, and we're going to see something here. So this is Raphaelin's lit area. His bright area is a square. His dim area is a circle, and that's why we're seeing a circle here. But what? Now I'm going to click on Raphaelin, and I'm going to click on his character here, up here, because I'm going to see what he sees. Okay? Raphaelin has a vision of 15. All right? And apparently he can see over here, because this is 10 from Raphaelin. So, and over here at the edge would be 15. So even though he can't see what is in between, because there's no light there, so he can't see what's in between here, but he can see something over here. Now, why can he see over there? Very simple. Something over there is lit. Now, on my map on the DM screen, I'm going to move over here. I have a campfire over here. Okay? Props can also have attached lighting. You can attach bright and dim lighting onto a prop. This particular prop is a campfire. It has a 7-tile radius for brightness and a 9-tile radius for dimness. So we're probably seeing a little bit of both over here for Raphaelin. So he sees that there's light over here. So he probably is going to go in that direction if he's on this map, right? You can see where the light is. But he can't only see light there. If we switch back over to play mode, oh, he can see light over here as well. What's going on over here? He actually, I don't know if you can see that. So let's click on Raphaelin. Okay, he can't see that. So the only thing that he can see is this over here. So obviously, he's probably going to head in that direction. He's going to head, walk to the light, walk to the light. All right, so that's the basics of vision and lighting and how those work with tokens and with props. Very simple. And if you do it correctly, I'm telling you, it's the vision and how it works in this. Now, let me show you how it works, because this is where it gets dope. If I click on Raphaelin and I move him, it just moves with him. The light just moves with him. And now he's starting to see everything in the radius, right? In this lighted radius. So dope. So simple. Don't have to do anything else except put the attached lighting and your secondary lighting on the token and then go to town. It'll do it for you. Just super cool, folks. Super cool. And super, super easy. Okay, so this has been my longest video that I've done. So I'm kind of, with this particular video, this might be a video that I do I might include this like as 2 videos. I don't know. Maybe not. But this is everything that you need to know about vision and lighting. It's very simple stuff. Very simple. And position, of course. We also went over position earlier in the video. So if you like this video, if it's helping you out, it's helping you get through skirmish and helping you learn how to use all the aspects, go ahead, click that like button, and also go ahead and click subscribe if the whole channel is helping you, because listen, we're not just going to be doing skirmish, even though that's what we're doing now. We're going to be doing all things RPG. We're putting the RP back in the RPG, and we'll have those videos coming up later on. So go ahead and click that subscribe button, and if you want to know when I'm getting ready to drop a video, click that little bell up at the top. I think it's in the top right-hand corner. Little bell, click that. It'll notify you when I have a new video, and then you can come and you can check it out. All right? So until next time, God bless and happy gaming.